What's happening, folks? Today we're here to talk about the brand new Matthew Vaughn spy flick, Argylle. I went and saw this a couple days ago, and I absolutely loved this movie. I, honest to God, do not understand why people don't like this movie. I saw it had like a 36% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes the other day. I saw a couple reviews where people were saying the movie was boring, it was too long, it was generic. Even talked to one of my friends who thought the movie was too long. He ended up enjoying it overall, but he still had a problem with the length of the movie. And I was just thinking to myself, like, I don't really understand what all these people are seeing. Like, did we watch the same movie? Because, like, I thought this movie was a blast. It was super fun and entertaining and exhilarating. And the whole thing about it being generic, I actually think it revitalized a genre of the spy flick that I think has been outdone for a while in a new way that I enjoyed, much like how Kingsman did. Now, granted, I can't exactly mention that right now because it has to do with a massive reveal that happens in the middle of the movie, and I don't want to spoil that for you because I'd rather you just go and see the movie yourself. So I will save that for the end of the video, and I'll give you a spoiler warning for when it's about to happen. So right now, we're just going to focus on the rest of it. You know, this movie stars Bryce Dallas Howard and Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill is Argylle, Agent Argylle, I should say, and he is this fictional spy that Bryce Dallas Howard wrote into one of her books. And it turns out her spy novels are extremely close to events that are happening in reality, which results in her being targeted by an evil spy agency that's trying to capture her so they can find out what she knows about everything that's going on. And she ends up being protected by a different spy named Agent Wild. And the two of them are now going on a journey together to keep her safe and stop this evil agency. It's pretty fun. It's to the point. I enjoyed it. Everything about this movie is just a blast. Matthew Vaughn really knows how to direct really fun action scenes and just fun, energetic movies that keep the pace going, in my opinion. I never really felt that there was a lull in the movie's direction, storytelling, action, or anything like that. I just had a blast sitting through the entire thing, and it was just super fun and entertaining. So it just doesn't really mesh with me when I hear people saying that the movie dragged on for too long, because I didn't really feel that. As a matter of fact, I thought the movie picked up the closer it got to the ending, because a lot of people are saying you could have trimmed up the movie by like a half an hour, but I think the last half hour of the movie is super fun, especially because it has two of the best action set pieces in the movie. One scene having to do with a bunch of colored smoke that's blasted around a room, which I thought was really fun and exhilarating, and then especially the final action, well, not the final, the second to last action scene that happens in the movie that I will not explain in detail what happens, but it has to do with crude oil and ice skates. I will let your imagination run wild from there, and I will just continue to move on. So I thought everything in this movie was phenomenal. I thought the actors did a good job. Everyone was fun. It seemed like they had a great time on set making the movie. So I honestly don't understand how this movie is getting such poor reviews given how fun it is. Like, if I had to rank Matthew Vaughn's spy movies between the three Kingsman movies and now Argylle, this would probably be 3 out of the 4. Not because it's bad, but just because Argylle is more of a fun, entertaining kind of movie, if that makes any sort of sense. Like, it's not a serious movie with, like, a deep emotional plot. It's just fun. You're supposed to sit down, you're supposed to have fun and enjoy it. Because, like, Kingsman and The King's Man are both fun, but they have a more serious plot to it that can be a little bit emotional. But Argylle, it doesn't really have like an emotional deep story like that. It's more just like, listen, I want to make a fun action spy movie, so here's a fun action spy movie, and I'm down to clown with that. Because adversely, if I had to rank all of his spy movies from most fun to least fun, Argylle would be number 1, beating out the first Kingsman movie. So that's how I really feel about everything that went down in Argylle. And one last thing that actually surprised me about the movie that my friend brought up to me and then it just clicked into my head is that Argylle is a very much Valentine's Day movie. So if you're looking for like a romantic and fun movie that both the dudes want to see because it's got fun action in it, but also the ladies would enjoy the romance part of the movie, I definitely recommend going to see Argylle for Valentine's Day. I would imagine it's still going to be in theaters by then, maybe have a little bit like fewer showings, but like if you want to go on a movie date with your significant other, I would highly recommend going to see Argylle because it definitely has a fun and interesting romance plot. It's not really showcased in any of the trailers, just mainly because the romance has to do in part with the twist that happens midway through the movie, so they couldn't really show you anything about the romantic scenes in the movie without telling you the spoiler that happens in the movie. And with that being said, I'm going to go into spoilers now. So, my final recommendation, go see Argylle. The movie is awesome. You'll have a blast with it. And if you want to have a good, hybrid action romance movie to go take your partner with on Valentine's Day, I would definitely recommend this. So, that being said, spoilers. I'm spoiling now. I'm warning you, spoilers. If you're still here, you don't care, or you've seen Argylle. So, we're going to talk about spoilers. Spoilers. Here we go. So, the twist that happens in the middle of Argylle is that our main character, Ellie Conway, is revealed to be a spy. It's a Bourne Identity kind of movie where she has amnesia and doesn't know that she used to be a spy. And I honestly think this was like a fresh take on this kind of genre, because usually it's just like, like Bourne Identity, essentially. Government agent who, they lost their memory because of an accident, or, they dropped off the grid and tried to escape or whatever, and now they're unknowingly coming back, like The Long Kiss Goodnight. Granted, I know she's more of like a government assassin than like a spy, but whatever. The Long Kiss Goodnight, the Bourne Identity, they're all like, oh, this person gained amnesia because of XYZ accident that happened during their last mission, and now they don't know who they are. They're hidden out somewhere in a small area. Now they're remembering who they are, or they've been activated, and it's just like, we've seen that a million times now, and it's boring, but I think Matthew Vaughn found a unique way to revitalize it, because Ellie Conway being hypnotized into not knowing who she is to try and get this information was really entertaining. And the whole aspect of her writing these books that pulls in all the people from her spy world to try and reach out to her again and jog her memory was really cool. I like that. It's very different than like, oh, their skills are just naturally coming back because of a random occurrence that happened. No, her books were used to jog her memory to find out information that she knew, and I just think it worked out significantly better. Like, this whole aspect of her novels being her life, drawing her back to who she is, why she envisions everything in such a clear and concise way, just really hooked me into the story, and it made me very hyped to see it. Especially because at the beginning of the movie, they talk about how she has writer's block and doesn't know what to write about the 6th book. And then when it comes around to the fact that the reason why she can't write the 6th book is because she didn't live it. It didn't happen. Her life got reset before she got to live her 6th Argylle book, so she doesn't know what to write anymore. I thought that was absolutely fantastic and an awesome plot twist in the movie. I 100% loved that, and it just engrossed me in the film even more. So, yeah. Those are my thoughts. Argylle absolutely slaps. I love this movie. I will rewatch it like a million times because it's just so much fun. So, obviously this is a spoiler section. I already mentioned this before. So you've either seen this movie or you don't care. So you have to be someone who doesn't care. I hope this sold you on going to see Argylle even more, because I would love more people to see and enjoy this movie. Don't listen to those crazy people that are saying this movie is bad and overly drawn out and too long. This movie's super fun and enjoyable. I honest to God do not understand how people walked into this movie and were just like, it was all right, man. Or even worse, because like I said, 36% score on Rotten Tomatoes. It could have gone up by now, or it could have lowered. I haven't checked. But 36% is ridiculous. That means that there were 64% of people who saw this movie and thought it was bad. Like, okay, sure, whatever. Yeah, all right then. Don't see how that happened, but whatever. All right, boss. So, go see Argylle. It's a ton of fun. You'll enjoy it. Take your partner if you want to. It'll be a blast. So, with that being said, I am the innocent villain. Remember, folks, you're innocent till proven villainous, and I will catch you in the next video.